In this video, I will be covering the reusable button. The reusable button is an example button provided to you that is highly configurable and can be used in many types of situations. In fact, multiple versions of this button are provided to you in the form of elevator buttons and easy buttons and just various different meshes that you can all find in the split meshes and the vertex animated folder within the reusable button folder of this example folder of the generic interaction component blueprint. Lots of folders, but highly organized, makes a lot of sense. These buttons are easily configurable to be used in any type of situation that requires a button. For example, turning off a light on or off. Now you'll see that I have changed this button to say fish sticks, but with a simple edit property in the details pane here, I can name this button anything I want, such as press button to burn down the world. And I'll hop back in game here and you'll see press button to burn down the world shows up. Really easily configurable button. In fact, this button, much like our interact forwarding example, has a list of receivers, and right now if you hit this button as we did just now, it turns this blue light on or off. But say we also want to toggle this red light. We can simply add this red light to this receiver array, and now this red light will be toggled. This button can be connected to any interaction receiver, whether it's a light or an elevator or a spinner of some kind. Let's go ahead and press this button and you'll see that both lights toggle and that the text is reset back to its default because I did not save that change. Now, this button can also send multiple interact types. Now, interaction type is something that will be discussed in the next room of the demo map here. Or sorry, 2 rooms ahead on example 13 increments and example 12 interact modes. It can also send arbitrary data, and its click sound can be customized. Even its color can be customized if you're into that sort of thing. So this button has quite a lot of logic behind it, and not all your buttons need to be this advanced. This is just a reusable, highly configurable button that I provided for you. This button is even animated so that when you press it, its mesh moves it. And there's multiple forms of animation as well, which will be covered in later videos. And the idea of this button is that if you're developing a game jam game or a prototype, or you just need a button in your game and you need it now, you can go ahead and just pop this button in, tie it to what you want to tie it to, and there you go. It's a button. The sub buttons, these blueprints that are subclasses of this reusable button, can all be used in the same way. For example, say you need an emergency button. You can just drag it out here, and you want this emergency button to also toggle this light. Simply add this middle light as a receiver for this emergency button, hit play, and when you press the emergency button, the light will toggle. These buttons do not need any knowledge about what they're controlling, and that's what makes them so powerful. You can make blueprints that have some sort of behavior, such as doors that open. We saw that in the very first room. This button here drives this door, and this door does not need to know about the button, nor does this button need to know the internals of this door. This door just needs to be linked to this button as a receiver, and in this door blueprint, you'll see that when it receives an interact simple event, it does some logic to either open or close the doors. And this type of switching, this type of interact mode logic will be covered in a later room in this map. But the reusable button exists just so that it can be connected to anything very quickly. Here we go. So anytime you see a button from now on in this map, it's going to be a reusable button. And just know that it exists for you to use for whatever purpose you'd like to.